Hello. Today we're going to talk about the events that happened in December of 1996. This month and this year, there marked a lot of events in the world and in our nation. Some events more important than others, and some events were just one-time headliners for music industries or sports industries. Starting off, we have Alanis Morissette. Alanis Morissette won her first Billboard Music Award, and it was the 7th annual Billboard Music Award held in December of 1996. Alanis Morissette is a Canadian-American pop singer from Ottawa, Canada. Secondly, we have NASA. NASA launched their first Mars rover on the 5th of December, 1996. This rover was launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Its name was Sojourner, for Sojourner, and it was launched out of the NASA Pathfinder Mars tunnel. Thirdly, we have the Big 12 Championship. This was the first Big 12 Championship ever held. This game consisted of Texas and Nebraska. Nebraska being the number 3 seed. Texas upset Nebraska 37-27. This game was held at Transworld Dome in St. Louis, Missouri, and had 63,000 people in attendance. Next, we have the Rwandan Genocide, an event that occurred on the 10th of December 1996. The genocide itself did not occur in this month. However, there was a recommended UN stand-down on December 10th of 1996. This stand-down was headed by Maurice Barrel, who is the military head advisor for the Department of Peacekeeping. During the Rwandan genocide, it was between the Hutu, who were the government of Rwanda, and they killed the Tutsis, who was looked down upon by that government. Also, we have the attempted assassination of Uday Hussein. Uday Hussein was the heir to Saddam Hussein and the government of Iraq. This occurred on the 12th of December 1996. Uday Hussein was almost assassinated by the Shiite Muslims, who were the resistance group in Iraq at that time. He was shot 17 times, seriously injured, and deemed crippled and handicapped for life. Next, on the 13th of December 1996, we have a man named Kofi Annan. He was elected Secretary General of the United Nations. He eventually went on to win the Nobel Peace Prize for his works in going towards a more peaceful world. We also have on the 18th of December the first cricket match ever held, the first big league cricket match between Zimbabwe and England, held in England. The outcome of the match, England ended up winning the first cricket match. We also have the event that occurred in Oakland, California. An Oakland, California school board declared that Ebonics be a national language or dialect. Ebonics is a slang type language, and it was deemed an official language. We also have the horror film Scream being released on the 20th of December 1996. It starred Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell, and this is an American horror film that has 4 movies, so the first movie being released on the 20th of December 1996. Next, we have JonBenet Ramsey on the 26th of December 1996. JonBenet Ramsey was a 6-year-old beauty queen, or pageant queen. She was found in her family home, beaten and strangled to death in Boulder, Colorado. This event was a very large news headliner and is still being talked about today as a very up in the airs case. It's very one-sided, and there's a lot that went into this case. On the 26th of December 1996, the largest strike was held in South Korea. This was the largest strike in South Korean history, not the largest strike worldwide. The people striking were automotive and shipbuilding workers, and they were striking because there was unfair labor laws, so they could work multiple hours for not enough pay, as well as there was a law that made it easier for employers to fire employees. So they could be fired for absolutely no reason, and it was very unfair to the workers, so they went on strike. And this strike lasted for roughly 4 months, and as I said, was the largest strike in South Korean history. Lastly, we have something called Resolution 986. And this was a resolution passed by the United Nations that was signed by 21 contractors who had approved this, and it limited Iraqi oil sales. Therefore, during this time, Saddam Hussein had large oil fields and was making a lot of money for the Iraqi government, and at this time it was very corrupt, and Saddam Hussein was power hungry. Therefore, with this limit on Iraqi oil sales, the United Nations attempt to weaken the Iraqi government, which then ended up leading to the invasion of Iraq and all the events that happened in early 2000. So overall, December of 1996 was a very busy year. There was events that changed world views. There was small headliner events in the United States, such as releases from Alanis Morissette. However, events such as the NASA launch to Mars were revolutionary. That was able to give the NASA Corporation and citizens of the world views of Mars, something that's never been done before. So December of 1996 was a very important year. Many things happened, and it's actually very interesting looking back on the month and year of my birth and finding out all this great information. So I hope you enjoyed learning as much as I did. Thank you.